Hello all. Recently the class 10th, that is SSLC, and class 12th, which is SSLC, results were declared by MBOS in Meghalaya, and the whole internet space was filled up with congratulatory messages and videos about the toppers, about those who have cleared the exams. But then it occurred to me yesterday that there was no content and there was no video, there was no kind of message for those who could not clear it this time. So I thought we must do something regarding this. We need to really reimagine this concept of failure. Often we associate failures to our milestones, to our targets, to our ambitions and goals. But we need to distinguish between efforts and results. When we are putting all the efforts, when we are doing all the hard work and we are determined to reach to our milestone, I would not call it failure, because you have put in all the effort, you have worked so hard. So that is success for you. Sometimes results are dependent on various other factors, various external factors which we are not in control in. And that is why we need to reimagine this concept of success, and we need to distinguish between our efforts and the results what we want. So if we have not been able to achieve the results this time, definitely we need to rework, we need to see what went wrong, and we need to restart our preparations or our efforts to achieve our milestones. So I would want to encourage all these students to reimagine this concept of failure. Not clearing an exam is not a failure, but I'm sure you did put in effort, and if you have not, then this time put in more effort, and that should be success and not the achieving of milestones. So let us all reimagine this concept of failure. One more thing which I want you to understand is that failure should be seen as a comma and not a full stop. That is not the end of everything. It's just one roadblock which we have faced, and it is like in a sentence, it's not the end of the sentence, it's a comma. And the day you start seeing as a full stop, that ends it all. But you need to see it as a comma, as a roadblock, and then we need to rework our way to finish what we started. So once again, failure should be seen as a comma and not as a full stop. Now with failure, we are already at the rock bottom, and so nothing can go worse than this, and basically the road ahead is all uphill. So one should not feel too dejected. Yes, sometimes we do feel down. There is, sorrow and grief, but just, vent it out, take it out, and then just rise again and get set going to achieve your goal with a new energy, with new enthusiasm, so that next year you can achieve what you plan to achieve. Now, what you also need to understand is that everyone fails. It's not like everyone is just succeeding the first time. We can take the examples of various sports person, or to be specific, football players. We know how good Ronaldo is, how good Messi is. We only see their successes. But what has gone into those successes? How many times they have failed? How many years they have struggled to reach there? Nobody is showing that, and unfortunately nobody is seeing that. So we are just seeing in the age of social media the successes, the good part. But behind the good part, there is a lot of struggle, huge struggle, various decades of struggle, I would say, and only then they have achieved success. So everyone fails. It's not just you. Everyone who is taking different paths, there is failure on the way. But as I said, it's just a comma, and it should not be taken as a full stop. Now, another very important thing I want you to understand is that failure is knowledge. When we fail, we need to see what went wrong, and it helps us to gain the clarity of how rightly we can do it, and then what is the right way to do it. So basically, failure is knowledge, and everyone understands that knowledge is success. So eventually, it's the step as we say that it's a step forward and it's not a step backwards. When we fail, something went wrong, and we need to learn from our mistakes. I'm sure all of us have seen ants. If you observe them closely, if they are trying to climb a wall, they will continue to do it as long as they don't reach the spot where they want to reach. If you closely observe an ant, it goes up, sometimes it falls down, and then without any delay, it just starts to climb again, and then again and again, until it reaches its destination. So it's so wonderful and inspiring to see that, in fact, not just ant, by any if you observe any creature, it will continue to do what it intends to do without wasting too much time on failure. It's only us who take a lot of time to come out of that zone of failure, come out of that zone of sorrow and grief. We need to minimize that, and as soon as we are down, we need to get up again, and we need to start going again. In the game of boxing, if you are punched down, if you are knocked down, and you are just lying on the floor, that is not when you have lost the game. That is not when the referee will call you defeated. It is only a defeat when you refuse to get up again. And that is very, very valid in life also. So failures are basically not when you are not able to achieve something or you are not able to achieve your goal, but failure would be when you refuse to get up again and strive hard to reach that objective. So I'm sure we can learn a lot from this game of boxing. And lastly, I want to end by saying my favorite line from Game of Thrones, which goes like, chaos is a ladder and the climb is all there is. Thank you.